On April 12, 1981, the dense pine forests of Northern California were quiet. That morning began like any other, until neighbors noticed the front door of cabin 28 standing completely open. Inside the living room, the scene resembled a war zone. 3 people had been meticulously tied up and killed, attacked with an assortment of weapons, and left exactly where they fell. The scale of the violence suggested an orchestrated massacre, creating an immediate complexity that exceeded the typical scope of local crime scene investigations. While the ground floor was covered in blood and broken glass, the second floor remained completely untouched. Investigators cautiously moving upstairs found 3 young children sleeping peacefully in their beds, barely a few feet away from the carnage below. The architecture of the cabin makes this detail difficult to reconcile. Given the thin wooden floorboards and the extremely close quarters, any sound of a struggle or a scream from downstairs would have easily echoed into those bedrooms, yet none of the 3 children woke up. They represent the case's first blind spot, a physical impossibility where extreme violence happened in close proximity, resulting in zero awareness. To trace whoever committed the massacre, police immediately launched a forensic sweep of the property. Detectives recovered the perpetrator's tools directly from the cabin, logging a blood-stained kitchen knife left among the chaos. They also documented a metal claw hammer, indicating a sustained attack requiring multiple heavy implements or forced entry. The process pulled identifying markers from the room, including distinct footprints outside and clear fingerprints lifted from surfaces inside. But despite these recovered tools and collected prints, the trails stopped. None of the physical traces yielded a database match or led to an arrest. This creates the case's second blind spot. The forensics confirm the killers were actively leaving traces of themselves in the room, yet they managed to vanish completely untraced. As the forensic investigation stalled, investigators turned their attention to who was missing from the cabin, a 12-year-old girl. For 3 years, her fate was a complete unknown. Police had no way of knowing if she had been kidnapped or if she had managed to escape into the woods. Then she was discovered alive, living hundreds of miles away from Northern California. Investigators looked to her for an account of the perpetrators, but her fragmented memories contradicted the established physical layout of the crime scene. The return of the only living survivor created the third blind spot. Instead of resolving the case, her testimony suggested that human memory was as unreliable as the physical evidence. Decades passed with no movement until the cold case was abruptly reignited by the surfacing of a handwritten confession. This coincided with another development, the discovery of a rusted murder weapon, pulled from the earth long after the trail was thought dead. Even with fresh suspects, new physical objects to analyze, and the advantage of modern technology, the investigation remained stalled. The passage of 40 years has only reinforced a frustrating reality. The events of that night remain immune to standard investigative resolution. Today, anyone looking for answers at the site will find nothing. Cabin 28 has been completely demolished, its physical footprint erased from the earth. Detectives possessed the murder weapons, a living witness, and eventually a written confession. Yet, after 4 decades, those leads have produced 0 convictions. Beat of silence. With the physical location gone, one final question remains. Who is still out there, protecting the truth of what happened that night?